Can you hear me all right? All right, Assalamu alaikum everyone. Thank you first of all to everyone for coming. This is an amazing turnout, and thank you to the ISOC committee for inviting me to talk. This is actually the first time I've performed my poetry. I'm not a spoken word poet, I'm I guess a written word poet. I don't know, I'm gonna sort of copyright that phrase. So as you heard in the introduction, I studied Arabic, Islamic Studies, and Persian for my undergraduate degree, and that took me to Damascus in 2009. Now, I went to Damascus a bit of a mess, unbeknownst to myself, I guess. And this is where a lot of my poetry came from, because I went to Damascus missing something from my faith. I didn't know what that was, but I found it there. And our faith has been described as having two wings. One of those is knowledge, and that's what I was seeking when I took an undergraduate degree in Islamic Studies. It's this sort of, I was the cliche, I want to be a better Muslim, so I'm going to take Islamic Studies and, you know, I'll be sorted. That didn't work. But I ended up in Damascus, and that did. And what I found in Damascus was the other wing, and that's spirituality. That's that deep, not that sort of hippie, happy-go-lucky, you know, I'm just going to wing it and, you know, feel good all the time. It's that deep connection with your Lord. And that's not something you go and buy in the markets, although I wish you could. It's something you have to work at. And it's something that in Damascus in 2009, before all the violence started, and when Damascus was a beautiful, beautiful place where you could really find yourself, I guess, in that sort of cliched sense, I committed myself to a path of spiritual upbringing, to changing and getting rid of the bits of me that I didn't need and changing the bits of me that I did need that weren't working. And that, I don't know how many of you are familiar with the Arabic term tarbiyah, but tarbiyah is that spiritual upbringing, so that's what I committed to. And initially, that's a beautiful feeling. It's like, yes, I'm going to do this. It's like when you first enroll on a course, like an undergraduate degree or something, you're like, yeah, I can do this. And then a month in, you're like, oh my God, what have I done? I can't do this. And no one really talked about the I can't do this. They talked about the beauty of that path, and it is a beautiful path. The discovery that you can have a relationship with your Lord that can carry you through the darkest of times is an incredible thing, indescribable even in poetry. But what I found was missing was people saying that they were struggling. So I needed to express that, and it came out in the form of poetry. And I shared these pieces with some friends, tentatively, hesitantly, afraid, I guess, that they would judge me for struggling. And I got the opposite reaction. They were like, how did you know? Why? How did you said exactly what I've been wanting to say for so long. And that was what sort of gave me license, I guess, to publish my poems, because I was hesitant when I was asked, because I didn't want to, you know, no one wants to admit they're struggling. And it's not a permanent state, but it can look it if you write it on paper. But because I know that other people find things hard too. Other people have hard days, and we don't tend to discuss that. We talk about the good stuff, and that good stuff is beautiful. But we have to work hard to get there, and sometimes we feel like we can't do it. Sometimes we have doubts in ourselves, and that's what I wrote about. So that's kind of the backdrop to this collection of poems. Anyway, I'm going to read you a couple from here. They're very short, you'll be relieved to hear. And a couple that I've written since. So the first one is called Alive. Now, this is about the feeling of being in the kind of company that makes you feel that you can, makes you feel, yes, I can do this, and gives you the kind of energy that you need to then go away and to make the changes that you need to. Kind of like the companions, may Allah be pleased with them, talked about their feelings when they were with the Prophet ﷺ. They would say, you know, when we're with you, it's like we're walking with angels, I'm paraphrasing. And then we go away, and it's kind of like, oh my God, we're human. They didn't say it exactly like that, but you get the idea. So this is the walking with angels. Take my hand and hold it tight, tighter still and don't let go. Let me sit close by your side and let your energy flow into my bones, my blood, myself, my being and my soul. Stick me back with gentleness, so once again I'm whole. Let me breathe the air around you, bathe in your light so I can see, and remember where I'm going and who I want to be. Take me under your outstretched wing, encompass me with care. Lend me conviction and encouragement, not just for me, to share. Let me raise my head to meet your gaze, and from your eyes keep pouring the strength and love and tenderness, so I might feel my heart restoring. I want to go to greater depths, give me the strength to dive. I want to go to greater heights, give me the wings to fly. I want to reach new levels, new peaks, give me the strength to strive. Let me rest my head upon your chest, to fill up, re-energize, and let me hear your heartbeat, to remind me I'm alive. So this next one is about the struggle, and in Islam we have the concept of nafs, which is closely, I guess, can be translated as ego, but it's kind of your basis self, and that's what the struggle is. In becoming a better person, you want to get rid of your ego, you want to get rid of your laziness, you want to get rid of greed and jealousy and all the rest of it that's holding you back from being the kind of person that we want to be. So this poem is called Goliath, and it's about the struggle against the nafs. I stand on the battle plain, O Lord. You know I'm no David, I am no Saul. But I face a Goliath, towering tall. Inside my head, inside my chest, it laughs as it puts me to the test. I stand and face it on my own, mutual enemies well known. The sun beats down and I am parched, but I stand with my slingshot arched. I may have only strings and stones, but they will break this giant's bones. Its death will be the end of wars, and my kingdom will be forever yours. I'm not sure how much time I have and how hungry people are, so I think I'm gonna do one more, and I'm just gonna plug my book and say you can read the rest in there. But no, I don't want to keep you waiting for that long. So this one I realized last night I'd also called Alive, so I'm gonna put it out to the audience, and if you have a good title for this one, or if you have any suggestions, let me know, because so far it's Untitled. But it's about a state of frustration, internally and externally, with where we are and where we are as a person, where I was when I wrote this poem, and where we are, I guess, as a nation, a people, a community. We sit in the ashes of bridges burned, stumbling along paths we said we'd never take, drowning in seas never again to be swum, sitting on fences we promised to break. Our darknesses have grown so very vast, they threaten to eclipse the sun. The silver lining has lost its gleam, dulled by the deeds we allowed to be done. We wonder wearily how we arrived at the brink of a future so bleak, united only by the mess we are in, encircled by flames of damage wreaked. And yet, from the depths of a shallow soul, the pulsing core of a rotting heart, the stubborn shoots of hope push forth, waging war against the dark. They will see sunlight once again. They are determined to survive. And until death's final cold embrace and a final stillness shrouds our face, they live and we are alive. Thank you very much.